So, last night was New Year's Eve, and I engaged in an experience on New Year's Eve that involved watching a movie. And that movie was Color Out of Space, featuring Nicolas Cage, based on a Lovecraft story of some kind. Folks, now, last night was New Year's Eve. I consumed a certain entheogenic fungus, and then watched this movie. I turned the movie on, and so I'm gonna be honest, folks. This movie was pretty entertaining to watch. I don't know exactly if this is a movie review, because I don't know if what I watched on my screen was the movie or was my brain interpreting the movie in a crazy different way. So, this movie was, I don't know the source material. I don't care about it. The only reason I watched it is because it's Nicolas Cage and it looked a little trippy, right? So, I'm gonna try not to spoil. This is a movie where there's really no spoilers. This is just something you have to watch. Like, I can say something like, Nicolas Cage is a farmer and he shoots an alpaca. You don't know what that means. You have no idea what the fuck that means, right? This is a visual experience. This is art. You have to watch this. Art. This is art, okay? Now, again, I watched this while high on magic mushrooms, and it was more than art. It was art plus, folks. So basically there's a meteorite that lands on a farm, and it has like a color in it that like a color, right? So it's a color that's represented by like pink, and it's pink, purple, and like blue, and it's like, I mean, just look at the poster here. Like, look at this. That's awesome. Right now, it's got like Nicolas Cage moments where he's like Nicolas Cage does a really, really good job. Now, again, I'm going to be honest. So I watched this movie very, 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 very much so not in a state of being sober. And so one of the things about this movie, and again, I don't know if it's the movie or my experience of watching the movie. I'm being very upfront and honest. If you watch this movie, it's possible there's things that I'm saying in this review that did not happen. But, so what happens is, so the meteorite lands, right, and it brings out a color which slowly drives all the characters crazy, right? Now, again, the first, hour and a half of a mushroom experience is, you're slowly ramping up, right? And so, there's parts where you start out firmly in reality, the real world is real, and then, by the second hour, by hour 2, when you hit hour 2, right? By this point, the movie was over, but when you hit hour 2, you're kind of, probably not in the real world anymore. So, as I was going from the real world to the not so real world, right? This movie was amazing to watch, right? Because, again, the characters slowly go crazy, right? And I was trying to figure out, Nicolas Cage starts doing, random accents, right? He starts, changing his accent, and I was like, did he, do that the whole movie, or is this, this movie was great to watch on Shrooms, because, the characters, it was very slow. They kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier slowly and slowly and slowly throughout the film. And it was incredible. There was another good appearance in this movie from Tommy Chong, who had a really good character. He showed up a little bit in the beginning and a little bit in the end, not so much in the middle. But again, really good character, very funny. But again, the main characters, so it's Nicolas Cage, the wife, and then 3 kids. And one of the kids is a witch, but, she's a stupid witch who talks about fast food. She's a stupid-ass bitch witch, right? But again, whatever. No offense to witches. I like witches. I'm pro-witch. But the witch in this movie was bad. I'm just saying. But anyway, so the meteorite lands. They're all slowly going crazy. So they're all, living their normal lives, and they're slowly going crazy. And so I'm watching this movie, and I'm thinking to myself, the whole time I'm watching this movie, I am constantly thinking to myself, I have no fucking idea what the fuck is happening. Right? And I kept telling myself, I think that's because of the mushrooms. If that is because of the mushrooms, I will probably know what was happening later. I'll just remember watching the movie, and because I'm not high I'm high on weed right now, but that's a whole different story. Because I'm not high right now, like, I can remember the plot. But I think, suffice it to say, this movie it's out of it, right? It's crazy. Like, it's out. I have no idea what was going on as I was watching it, but it was such an experience that it was just incredible. So again, my favorite part, I think, was by the end when, like, they're in, like, the dimensions are, like, fucking overlapping in on each other, right? And Nicolas Cage is, like on the floor, like, doing this, like, and is, like, you can see. And again, I don't know if it was the mushroom, but, like, there was, like, the visual effect in the movie, right? Where they were, where, you know, you can see, like, ghosting in the movie. And at first I thought that that's because, you know, I'm on drugs. Then it turned out, wait, no, I think that was in the movie, right? I'm pretty sure, but it was, like, the combination of me being on drugs and also watching the movie that's very bizarre. Incredible movie. I mean, like, again, I don't know if this would be entertaining as much to watch sober, for sure. But if you're going to do any drug, especially something like mushrooms, this movie, highly recommended. Again, I can't spoil it. It's impossible for me to spoil because it's an experience, right? It's not like this is, you know, like the whole movie relies on, like, a twist ending and I spoil the twist and then therefore the movie is... It's not like that. There's nothing I can say that will... You gotta watch this movie. It's very it's very entertaining. It's when Nicolas Cage starts doing these accents and then does like this with his hands, right? He's like, you know, he's doing this constantly. I'm like, what is going on here? It's incredible. He's like, you know, he's like yelling, but like in a weird accent, and he's like flopping his hands. So, that was my New Year's Eve movie choice. Was I watched Color Out of Space on mushrooms, and I don't know if this is a movie review or if this is like a trip report for me. This is in the middle, but I recommend watching it. Either way, because it's got Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage is perfect. Every movie he's ever done is perfect, no exceptions. And there's like 3 or 4 classic Nicolas Cage meltdowns. He's just really good at acting and being a crazy person, right? And so it's incredible. What an experience. That's all I can say on that one. But what an experience. Like, my God, what an experience. Highly recommended.